Hi everyone, and I am back with another President's Report here, reporting in the summer, giving you an overview of what's been happening. When most but not all of you have been gone, I realize quite a few faculty now teach in the summer, so more and more we see fellow faculty in the summer. But I'll give you an overview of what happened here for the meetings of August 13th and also August 27th. So in terms of the August 13th meeting, there were a couple employee introductions and also one Employee Excellence Award. So we welcomed our new Director of Disability Resource Center and Learning Disability Specialist faculty member, Kelly Greiner. We're just excited about all the expertise that she's bringing to working with our disabled students and all our students and faculty and staff on campus. We also met our new Dean of Instruction, Allie Bissonette, pictured here with Dr. Risden. We're really excited for Allie starting here and look forward to working with her as the new school year starts. Also, Drew Cunningham was awarded the Employee Excellence Award, so if you get a chance to see Drew at the One Stop, congratulate her. I know we celebrated her achievement at the board meeting. Here's President DeFranco giving her the award. And then also over the summer, during, I believe it was the Coyote Cleanup Day, she was recognized for that award. So we're really excited for Drew's accomplishments here at LTCC. It's always exciting to get those new personnel introductions and awards, and I really commend our board and administration for having that really front-facing at the beginning of our board meetings to really highlight our new employees and then employee achievements. There was a conversation about international education and an English proficiency opportunity. And as I understand this, we could gain 7 to 10 new students per quarter. And I believe it has to be face-to-face only. But it's basically an opportunity to offer this English proficiency. And as a result of that, we can pick up 7 to 10 new international students. So that's exciting news. The ISTE enrollments. So it was reported that 601 unduplicated enrollments occurred. It was just a really high year. It wasn't the highest, but pretty close to the highest. It was also great to hear that 100% of the ISTE SLOs were turned in over the summer. And I believe I have a photo here. And then I think I was also on campus and had a chance to take some video as well. If you get a chance over the summer, if you're here, just come and check out ISTE. It's just really exciting to see the vibrancy and so much interest from the community and expanding outwards in terms of people being excited about ISTE and everything that it brings to our community. So exciting times for ISTE with their big enrollments. The next item relates to the Mobility Hub, and if you're on campus, probably by the time you're back, a lot of it's going to be done. It seems like they're really working fast. It's just all the construction that's been happening over the summer, a lot going on. It was reported that there was a good write-up in South Tahoe Now, so if you want, go to South Tahoe Now and you could just type in the search bar Mobility Hub, and that will come up for you, talking about the docking stations and everything that it involves. So pretty exciting times in terms of that new service coming to campus, and I suspect it'll bring us more traffic to campus and more visibility for the community. Okay, the next item relates to student housing. So there is, as you know, new student housing at 3681 Aspen Avenue, and I happen to have done a live stream for this, so if you're curious, you could go to my YouTube page or contact me and I can send you the link for that. I just found it here. It was pretty cool because there was a chance to hang out with some of our students, and my live stream actually did cut out, I think 30 minutes into it, so I have to work on that, but just did a tour of the whole space. So if you're curious, I take you through the quarters. I have some interviews with some folks who are there, local people from campus. So if you're curious at all, get in touch with me, or maybe I'll just link it at the bottom of this video so you have access to it. So that was kind of neat just to see all the interest in our student housing. It's not on campus, but we're potentially moving in that direction as well in terms of future board conversations about student housing actually on campus. So more to come on that, but exciting times for us with the new property. And by the way, that's at 3681 Aspen Avenue. If you're curious, it's very close. Just go to Ski Run Boulevard, and it's very close to the highway there. Also want to mention LTCCFT Trends. So really good news on this. The current number that we're getting, it's over 2,000. So I've heard upwards of as much as 2014. It depends on how you count the numbers. But we are a 2,000 plus FTS school, and that actually puts us at the second highest FTS in college history and the highest FTS for this entire decade. So really exciting news. Good work to all our faculty there, because all of you were the ones pulling in the students into our classes and teaching all those students. As capacity increases, of course, it's work for faculty, so just appreciation goes around in terms of all the work there. The Library Comprehensive Program Review, Melanie presented this. I actually offered it in my last report, so I would just refer you to my last President's Report video, and I have a whole conversation about it there. We're excited to see some of the things coming on board. In terms of the library, I had a chance to sit down with Melanie for quite a bit of time to do some new onboarding videos for our new onboarding for full and part-time faculty, and you'll be able to see those probably in a month or two, so be on the lookout for that, because Melanie had so many exciting things to report to us in terms of how the library is changing and how they're keeping up with the times in terms of conversations about the use of space, conversation about textbooks, conversations about having multimedia available in terms of DVDs, in terms of computers versus Google Chromebooks and so forth. So a lot of exciting stuff happening in the library. Be sure to check out my last President's Report. Conversation took place about the remodel for efficiency, and this is all the money that's coming in. We're excited to get it. Millions of dollars to revitalize science labs, art labs, and so forth. President DeFranco made the point that it's very prescriptive in terms of what we can use these funds for. We can't necessarily build out everything on campus. There are restrictions about how this can be used in terms of classroom space versus non-classroom space. I suspect there'll be more conversations coming out in the future about the projected projects and when that'll happen and planning for that and so forth. So be on the lookout for more conversations about that. I'm just looking over anything else on the August 13th meeting. And I think that was mainly everything that was covered. Again, in these videos, what I'm trying to do is give you the highlights. I'm not covering everything. If you want everything, I do recommend you go to the board packets and you just click on ltcc.edu, click on About Us, click on Board of Trustees, and you'll find the board docs. And then once you click on the board docs, you can then choose by the month and then click on the board meeting that you want to look at. So we'll actually take a look at the next meeting here, and that is the board meeting of August 27th, 2019. I actually missed this meeting. I was out of town, so I didn't get a chance to attend this meeting, but I'll go through just some of the agenda items with you just to see what happened. As usual, as I'm saying all the time, just make sure you go over the board docs if you're at all interested in more of the detail. Again, the closed session items, we don't have access to that information. I'm just looking at the consent agenda here. Under personnel action, for every board meeting, you typically see a lot of people being hired. Some of these are equivalencies. Some of these are just minimum qualifications. So you could see CIS, philosophy, religion, CIS, and then PE athletics. Also, some of the new positions. So Brian and Cody hired as our new ground custodians and leads. Some classified employee stipend agreements, and so forth. And if you want to, click on any agenda item on a board agenda, click on the PDF there, and that gives you the additional information. And a lot of this is just stuff that has to be on the agenda, and likely, it's not interesting to most of us, but if it is, that's the option for you. You can actually click on it and read more information. Superintendent President Report, I do recommend looking at these if you can. A lot of information about things in the news and some of the more public-facing stuff. So, for example, there was a news story about Promise that was really good, and that was just a conversation with Colo News, Channel 8 out of Reno. They came to campus and did a really good profile. But it was pretty cool to get this public exposure. There's a short write-up, and then there's also the video here. Okay, we learned about Boomtown. And then it was a 3-minute story, but they were on campus and they did some profile of our students, and then they also talked to our president, and they did some shooting in the library and so forth. So pretty cool. And they were there, it looks like, at ISTE as well. So you could see that this is really good for us, that it gives us public exposure in terms of launching the Promise program, which we're certainly excited about. So that is always good news to see that we make it in our local newspaper, or in this case, Reno News. There was also mention of the State of the College address. All faculty will be getting a mailing or an email, likely. I think maybe we're cutting down the mailings, announcing this, but that will be next Thursday, September 12th at 9 a.m. And you can see here that it has, with the welcome breakfast, State of College address until 10:30. Our Chancellor, Eloy Oakley, is presenting, so that's really exciting. That's pretty amazing to have our Chancellor on campus. And then we're doing an employee recognition lunch from 12 to 1:30. As always, these get archived, and so if you ever want to watch last year's, you can check that out. So that's coming up along with everything for Convocation Week, which will include the Coyote Kickoff. If you still have questions, get in touch with your meta major or department leads. That will be next Friday from 11 to 2 p.m. That's Friday, September 13th, out in the main area here in front of the college, in front of the library. So a lot of exciting stuff with food and rolling out meta majors. I'm hoping to live stream some of that for you and for others on campus or outside off campus who might want to watch it. So certainly be a participant in that. And then our team building day will be that Wednesday, and there's some information coming out about the agenda for that as well. So I think that's everything on the President's report I wanted to offer in terms of what the President DeFranco presented to us. There's the final budget. I won't get into this, but if you want to look at our final budget, that is available to you here. Some new action here. More information about Measure F, General Obligation Bond. There's a lot of reports. Seems like every other month there's something being reported to our board about Measure F, 2 agenda items. That's always very good because there's a lot of public overview, and the public is provided insights about how the money is being spent. So since that's a big part of any bond, is the fact that the public has oversight over it. Grant lead employee contracts. So many of us are excited. Trevor and I will be working with Katie Myers on the CDC OEI grant. So that is now official. So we're both excited to be working with Katie. She brings so much experience to this position. It's just going to be great. It's very fast moving. We've had, just to give you some insights over the summer, Trevor and I, Dean Brad Deeds, Katie, we've had meetings, and there's a lot happening with this grant behind the scenes to get things ready for the new onboarding we're talking about, some of the opportunities for faculty training, opportunities for student engagement with badging, with Concentric Skies. So you're going to see a lot happening in the near future with the CDC OEI grant, and I will certainly keep you apprised of what is going on with that grant since I'm so involved with it, as is Trevor. Second news is that we hired Julie Booth as our director of the Lake Tahoe College Promise. That's also very exciting news. We wish Julie well, and we know that she's going to bring a lot of insights to this position based on her many years at the college in various positions, most recently working as our director of student life. I believe both of these employees will be introduced at the next board meeting, which is next week. So now that we're into September, typically they hire them in the first meeting, and then the second meeting they do the official employee introduction. And again, I missed that one. It looks like, I bet it was a relatively short board meeting. The only thing left on here were the comments from various members of the board and the administrators, faculty, senate, and so forth. Okay, I thought I'd feature just a few odds and ends. There's a lot that happens in the summer, and if you're teaching or working in the summer as a faculty member, you know that, and you're on campus. And like we said with ISTE, a lot of vibrancy. There's a lot more happening, I think, in the summer than I recall in previous years. So these are some odds and ends about what's been going on. I wanted to mention that coming up this Friday, September 6th, is a big all-day training opportunity for our full and part-time faculty if you want to participate. That's going to be at Valhalla starting at 8 a.m. with breakfast. If you're interested, an email went out from Megan in the Connect office, but put that on your calendar this Friday if you want to participate. It's going to be a lot of cool team building and outdoor activity and a boat ride and lunch, and everything's provided for you. So if you're interested, come out to Valhalla, just out in Emerald Bay this Friday, September 6th, starting at 8 a.m. Let me know if you have any questions and I can fill you in on that. Taste of Gold was very successful this year. If you're interested, you could talk to Nancy Harrison or Cinnamon in the foundation office. They raised, I believe, over $90,000 this year, which was up 20% from last year. So a lot of good news in terms of all the new money and donations coming into our foundation. We're always excited about that. The equity plan, I had a meeting with Laura Salinas and Dr. Jonathan King. We sat down and discussed the equity plan. We specifically were interested in a lot of issues on campus, certainly our underrepresented populations, but also how we could link some of our meta-major training to issues of equity. As an example, could we have a workshop or training for women, females interested in STEM careers who maybe get pushed out of STEM or aren't encouraged to go into STEM careers in the sciences? So kind of interesting what might be coming out with equity. It was a draft of the plan. It'll be making its rounds through the various governance groups, so be on the lookout for that as we start fall quarter. Also, Coyote Kickoff, I already mentioned, is happening next Friday. So if you haven't already, get with your other faculty. And we're doing a lot to try to make it an even bigger and better event than last year. So we want to have interactivity, and there's going to be tables arranged and tents arranged by all the meta majors and their associated colors. So it's going to be pretty cool this year, I think, to see what we can pull off for that important day to help launch our new meta majors and guided pathways. Connected to Promise, we've had quite a few Promise meetings over the summer, getting things together. I'll be teaching the Counseling 131 class, and I just today turned in my photocopy order on my syllabus. I'm offering 3 sections of that in the fall, 2 on Monday, including Monday evening, and 1 on Tuesday. A lot of activities are coming out with our Promise program, including work that Clinton, Brad, myself, Julie Booth have been planning for September 9th. So Monday, September 9th will be an all-day training day, optional for our Promise students. We'll be on campus. You'll see us here doing some activities upstairs in A208, and then we'll be heading over to the beach resort for some water fun and activities in the afternoon. So that's happening on September 9th, which is Monday. Embedded tutoring is something we're launching with our Promise program, offering it to all students as well in some various sections. We've identified some sections, and then we're trying to work with the faculty members to hire the embedded tutors, and then Melanie, as she runs the tutoring center down at the library, we'll be working on training those tutors to get them set for embedded tutoring. So kind of exciting. It's a new thing that we're launching for the fall. I've been involved, Allie, Jonathan, Melanie, Michelle Risden, and some other folks, including our faculty, who are working on getting the hiring going and the training going in terms of qualified tutors for our classes. So that's pretty exciting news coming since we haven't done embedded tutoring in the past. I'm in conversation with someone from the statewide Academic Senate in terms of holding a guided pathways meeting here on campus Thursday, October 24th. I'm just trying to work on the logistics of maybe getting the university center for this. There'll be 40 to 50 people for this regional meeting, so it could be pretty exciting. So be on the lookout for more announcements about this as we are in the works of potentially hosting it here in fall quarter in October. And I think that's it. So that is an overview. I'm calling this the Summer 1 President's Report. I'll do another one covering the September board meetings, and then we'll launch into fall and have our Senate meetings that are typical every other Friday in our boardroom. So agendas will be going out, of course, meeting requests from John Kingsbury, and you'll be getting more information about Senate coming up. We welcome all our new faculty, our 4 new faculty, welcome our new Dean of Instruction, and everyone else who is new to campus, and those of you who are returning again for your 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 23rd year, as is the case with me. We welcome you back as well, and we're looking forward to just an exciting year as we launch Med Majors and Promise and a bunch of new initiatives here in the fall quarter 2019 at LTCC. So I'll be back again with some more President's Reports, and thanks for listening.